guys, welcome back, and today we thought we'd do a video with us being siblings on how to talk to your sibling who is suffering from a mental illness. The first thing we wanted to just say quickly was just remember they are still in there. They're not the mental illness, they're not a walking illness. It's very easy to just think that that's them. They're still there. They just need a bit of support and a bit of encouragement, don't they? Just don't be scared. They're
and
still
a bit
with
of love.
you. Yeah. Like you gave me.
Yeah. So the first thing that I was going to say was basically don't be afraid to talk to your sibling, because I think a lot of people are scared to talk to them just because they're worried of what they're going to say, or they're worried what to ask, or they're worried what their sibling's going to say, or their loved one even. I mean, I suppose this can go for anyone.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that kept me and Sam close in the end, obviously I'm not going to sugarcoat it, we weren't close the whole time, and we went through difficult patches, but in the end I think it was because we kept communication open. We didn't always talk about the illness as well, so maybe I would just go in there after my day at work and just sit down and chat to her, even if she didn't respond to me. I'd just go in there, keep her company, you know, update her on life really. And
you just kept me in the normal world, didn't you?
Yeah, like I was kind of her piece of normality, I suppose. And I think that's what you liked though. It kept you going a bit, didn't it? And
yeah, it kept me out of my illness, and it kept me seeing what is outside my illness. And just going on from that quickly, when you said that I didn't reply, I think it can often come across, someone with a mental illness can come across a bit rude or a bit ignorant, or not like they're interested. Most of the time, not probably all the time, but most of the time, it's because their head is so full. They're literally battling with this voice in their head, having a full-on conversation with it, and they find it so hard. I personally did to have a conversation with someone else, and now looking back, I feel like I probably looked really rude to you, or I just sat in my room because I just needed to be quiet. So yeah, from a sibling or friend's point of view, just keep going with them. Just try, like, you really understood me, like you and you never judged me, and it must have been hard with the things I was doing.
Well, I think like moving on from that is that don't be afraid to ask questions as well. So it helps you to understand. So obviously, you know, you've got to think about the questions you want to ask. You know, because there are some things that, you know, might be a little bit deeper than than what you want to know or you need to know. But I think, you know, sometimes once I'd built the courage up, I'd ask questions, and it does help you understand, because you know, not all the time, but most of the time, like Sam would be quite honest with me and tell me what was going on inside her head, and then you can kind of, towards the end, you can kind of humour it, but in the beginning it helps you understand, and it helps you actually be a lot more patient as well. Helps with everything, I suppose. And also getting to know your sibling more, because like even when you're just having a chat and you're asking questions, you learn more about them. And I think don't be afraid.
Like I think the way that you helped me, again, you were just like my normality, and you were like a safe place. You've made me feel safe. And I remember when I was like rock bottom, I remember I got up in the night, I couldn't sleep, and I got in your bed, you didn't know, and I put her dressing gown on, and I just slept in your bed in her dressing gown.
Was I not there then?
No. I think you would have noticed, mate. Just been like, bang. So you were like literally like my rock, really, I think. And she knocked that wall down, and I think once you've knocked that wall down, you're not too worried. I don't know, you're a sibling, so yeah, I was a bit zoned out.
No, and I think being their safe person though is really helpful to the sufferer, because they need someone who they can trust, and actually in the end you start being able to help them in that way, because even though you're not necessarily physically doing anything, like you're not their therapist, but you're their safe place, and you can help them to feel safe.
Yeah, like you didn't treat me as the illness. You remembered the things I did and the things that were going through my head was the illness, and that's how you were so patient and so understanding. Obviously, you it was very frustrating at times.
Yeah.
But you just stuck with it.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to say actually is, don't be judgmental. Try not to be, because that's how you create the relationship. Is by listening.
Tension, don't you?
Yeah. When you listen to what they say and you don't judge them, or you don't. Well, what about this? Well, why aren't you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know, you kind of cut off the lines of communication.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you don't want to do. I think as well, for like a carer or a sibling, it sometimes helps if you have someone to talk to as well, so you can vent your feelings to someone who you trust. And you've got to kind of, you know, if it's a professional or a friend, someone you trust, I think that helps to keep your relationship with your sibling better, because you're not taking your frustration out on your loved one or sibling. You've got somewhere where you can vent that, and then you can go in, with a fresh, open mind.
Yeah.
And be there for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I think that's most of our tips for now. If we think of any more, we'll let you know.
We'll let you know at the end, like last time.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions or any other suggestions, feel free to comment below.
Yeah. We will see you in the next video.
Thank you.
Thanks.